I'm Michael Fragos, the winemaker at Chapel Winery. The original chapel which we're sitting in here today was built in 1865. So from 1865 to 1965 was a local church and school for the village of Seaview. The chain was closed in after 100 years in 1965. Then it sort of fell into a little bit of disrepair, and it wasn't until 1971 when our founder Tom Nelson stumbled up the property. He then planted the first vineyards in 1972, and then he built the original winery adjacent to the chapel where we enjoyed our first vintage in 1975. So the chapel's still the centerpiece of our tasting room. At Chapel Hill, there's a real deep respect for land and vines. So everything that we're doing in the vineyard and winery is to achieve purity and balance in our wines. In the vineyard, there's a real focus on sustainability, biodiversity, to achieve soil health and vine health. And in the winery, there's a real focus on small batch, gentle, we're quite patient winemaking. The wines that really excite me in Chapel Hill are the wines made off our winery vineyard. It's such a beautiful and unique property. Most of the vineyards planted on the Tattler Hill geological formation, which is a staggering 550 million years old. It's quite humbling to get out and make wines from grapes grown on such old geologies. And the wines that have been able to make from this vineyard have such sort of exquisite structure and complexity.
Yeah, my favourite grape variety to work with is undoubtedly Cabernet Sauvignon. It's such a temperamental grape both in the winery and in the vineyard. And it has such an unforgiving lightning pattern, and you have to get that harvesting decision absolutely right. In the winery, it just requires a lot of attention to detail. It really keeps you on your toes, but when you get it right, the results can be quite exhilarating. My favourite food and wine pairing is our gorgeous white Cabernet Sauvignon paired with small chunks of lamb shoulder that have been slowly roasted over charcoal. But it's a great combination. You get that beautiful, it's very carnivorous, but you get that protein, you get that wonderful tannin and that flavour combination. Yeah, McLaren Vale has so many virtues. We've got natural beauty, a pristine coastline, and an amazing food and wine culture. But what I love about McLaren Vale most are its people. Collectively, there's a real sense of community, and we really work together to be the custodians of this wonderful region.
Following the release of the geology map in 2010, the district's McLaren Vale working group was compiled to really then investigate to see whether McLaren Vale could be then divided up into districts. The Districts of McLaren Vale project is going to be able to provide such a wonderful opportunity for people to learn more about the region. Now, we've been tasting these wines annually for about 16 years, and what's really exciting, what we're finding, is some of the differences from across the region. And these are differences in flavour. You're getting this broad spectrum of spice, aniseed, more red and dark fruits from different districts in the McLaren Vale. And the other really exciting differences are in the tannin, the mouthfeel, the way it fits in your mouth. You've got some really silky tannins through to some more robust, chunky tannins as well. So despite McLaren Vale being a reasonably compact region, there's so much diversity within the region.